Interesting. Hopefully this works. I think I've got two cameras. I think I've got two cameras going. I think I've got two excuse me, two cameras going. Hello, Cause. How you going? Cause trouble. Cause trouble. Of course you are. Of course you are going to cause trouble. I'm just playing around with the cameras. I'm just trying to see if I can get everything to work correctly. Because last time it wouldn't let me use two cameras. I also just realized I need to get some... I'm just going to get something to drink because I will get hydrated. And I'll get in trouble if, as a streamer, I am not prepared. You see? I now have juice. Okay. We can succeed. Oh, it's Scuffy. Hello, Scuffy. How are you going? I'm assuming you're playing Scuffy. Lukey. How you going? I like food. You do indeed. Oh, welcome to Chat Plays D&D. Can you hear me? Is the music okay? Is the microphone okay? I am playing around with the setup a little bit, just trying to make sure that it actually works. Can you hear music? According to this, you can hear music, but very low music. You have no issues. Good to hear. Good to hear. There should be some epic music. But yeah. We, funnily enough, are playing a game that you know very well. The music's not overwhelming. That is good to hear. Although in my setup today, I haven't been able to get my Stream Deck to work, so no sound effects today, unfortunately. How are we all this fine day? Alive? Me too. Me too. I gotta admit, I almost fell asleep this afternoon. Almost happened. Very alive. That's all we can be. That is all we can be, Scuffy. That is all we can be. Now, as always, if you would like to play, I do just need to know a character name. In fact, I'll just take your name from... I'll just take your name directly from chat. And the race of creature you are, and the type of hero or class you are playing. That is all I need to include you in the adventure, which is not stringing you along. Those of you who have played this adventure before, it's different every time. So we'll keep going. Totally fine. You have to leave at 4. You can join until then. Big Infinity. All I need is the race and class of creature you are playing, Big Infinity. And we will work you into the story. Can even be made up stuff. A Centaur Sorcerer. Love it. We of course have a Centaur Sorcerer. The most centaurious of sorcerers. Excellent. I say then, Centaur Sorcerer, we can give you a lovely wand to represent your sorcery, or a book of magic, or a dark book of magic with a skull. Your choice. Do you have a dice roller? Do you have your own dice? I can also roll dice for you, should the situation arise. One sounds great. Excellent. The Mighty Centaur, Big Infinity, a sorcerer of some renown, has received an interesting request from one of their friends to just go and help an old lady, a grandma of sorts, who's been having an issue getting a ball of yarn out from underneath a cabin. On this journey, you have traveled far, Big Infinity. And of course, your friend Scuffy, the cat-like Malkin, who is a monk, has been traveling with you. This seems like such a good opportunity for you to just help an old woman in need, rather than going on to these dangerous adventures. So, deciding together, you finally make it through the woods and see the cabin laid out ahead of you. The place seems fairly deserted, but you can see smoke coming from the fireplace up through the chimney, and the house has a warm glow about it. There doesn't seem to be anyone else around. The next house is miles away. What would you like to do? Standing at the bridge, surveying the surroundings, the trees gently blowing in the breeze, Big Infinity the Centaur, and Scuffy the Monk. Polite as always, Big Infinity moves up to the front door. The door appears to be closed, but not locked. You knock on the door, and an old lady appears at the front door. Dressed in a dark shawl. It is, of course, Grandma Nodding. Just who you are here to see. Oh, have you come to help with my problem? She says. I did send out some requests to some of my grandchildren, and they said they couldn't come along. I seem to have dropped my knitting yarn, and it's rolled underneath a cabinet, and with my whole bones the way they are, I can't get out. The small cat-like Scuffy Malkin pops their head up, waves a claw. Oh, aren't you cute, dear? And gives Scuffy a bit of a pat on the head. Won't you come in and have some tea? I can show you where the issue is. And she moves into her house. You can hear the sound of the tea set tinkling on the table as she pours the liquid into small cups. Scuffy the Malkin purring. Come on in, dears. Moving through the house, it is quite spacious. It is easy for you not to knock things over. As you pass through, though, Big Infinity, you see that there is yarn everywhere. It is it is all over the floor, all over the walls. It appears to be hanging from some of the rafters, and you cannot see the end of any of it. Looking around, there doesn't seem to be a loose string. It is all just yarn of different colors, and the ends disappearing under tables, under cabinets, even into pots and pans. Scuffy the Malkin is just resisting the urge to play with the yarn. Holding your hands tight at your side, Scuffy, you make your way in. Grandma nodding, hands you 2 cups of tea. Big Infinity, the centaur, looking around. Any plans for this yarn, they say? Oh, well, this seems to be the problem. You see, a few days ago I dropped a ball of yarn under the counter over there, and she points to a small counter here in the corner against the wall. And the more I tried to pull it out, I couldn't get to the end of it. I swore that I'd sort it out the next day, so I went to bed, but in the morning I found yarn in my pots and pans, and even in the teapot. And looking into your cups, you see that they're also full of wet yarn in the bottom. Since then, I've found it in the garden, in my bed, on the rafters above. I just can't seem to find the end of it. It's a mystery. Oh, Smurf, are you playing? Have you heard any strange noises? Says Big Infinity, the sorcerer centaur. No, not really. Just lots and lots of yarn. Every time I try to clear it out of somewhere, it just seems to go. Says, and the weirdest thing, and she grabs a handful of yarn and pulls a small knife from her belt and cuts it. But instead of cutting through the yarn, the knife just passes straight through, and she ends up with 2 loops of yarn. I just can't seem to figure out what the problem is. And with my old bones these ways, I can't get underneath the cabinet. Need to grab a drink and get your character sheet up and ready. I forget what sort of character you were, Smurf. Was it a ranger? I think it was a ranger, wasn't it? Suddenly at the other side of the table, you notice an additional figure. One that you didn't notice anywhere before. They speak up. I'd love to have a room full of yarn magically. Laughs the figure. It is, of course, Smurf the Ranger. It appears they have also answered a questing summons from Grandma Nodding to try to help. Big Infinity. Pulling on your magical presence, your innate magical abilities, and your spells, how would you like to test the yarn for magical presence? Do you have a detect magic spell? Would you like to use your knowledge of Arcana? Arcana knowledge? Roll away, Infinity. Roll away. Meanwhile, Scuffy tentatively reaches up, touches the yarn in Grandma Nodding's hand. It feels just like normal yarn. Your claws scratching into it. 11. It definitely feels like there is some soft magic to it, but you can't tell what. It doesn't seem to be oppressive or violent or even radiating from it, but there's something inherent about it that is magical. This fills you with all sorts of questions. Big Infinity, you can play, let's say, around level 8, I guess. 7 or 8 would be good. Crochet a magic robe with it. Joke Smurf at the other end of the table. Pulling some of the fabric and wrapping it around themselves like a shawl. That could be quite possible, Smurf, crocheting a magic robe with it. Excellent. As everyone drinks their tea, Grandma Nodding moves over to the counter. It was just under here, she points. This is where I lost the first ball of yarn. And she points to a large pile of red yarn on the floor. This is what I pulled out. It's so much more yarn than I thought. I only dropped a small ball under there, but it just keeps coming out with more and more yarn. And she picks up some and shows you. She pulls yarn and yarn and yarn, throwing more and more on the floor. It just seems to be never ending. Scuffy's paws are completely tangled in yarn now. Looks very frustrated. What would you like to do, party? Grandma Nodding's house is slowly filling with yarn. She cannot find the end of it. It is a mystery. Smurf sitting at the end of the table drinking tea. Playing with the yarn, trying to crochet it with some arrows into a shawl, or into a robe. We have Big Infinity the Centaur, which I think is a great name for a centaur. Expertly studying the yarn, trying to get it to reveal its secrets. And of course Scuffy, who is now more and more entangled in the yarn. The choice is yours, party. The choice is yours. I don't think I'm going to get out of this tangle, says Scuffy. Suddenly, Scuffy is yanked out of sight and disappears under the cabinet. You hear a short cry, and they are gone. Scuffy, from your perspective, you feel like you're flowing through some sort of soft, dark, black felt. Falling, but slowly. Smurf, Big Infinity, you have seen this happen. Grandma Nodding takes a few steps back from the cabinet, shock on her face. What just happened? Where did she go? Big Infinity says, Smurf, could you look under that cabinet? I'm not sure I can get down that low. You, as this is going on, just as Big Infinity is talking to Smurf, who says, sure thing, I hope this won't go badly. But as Smurf steps up, the yarn that they were trying to knit into a robe suddenly tightens, and Smurf too is sucked under the cabinet by the yarn. There is a silence in the air, suddenly punctuated by the sound of distant music. And not long after, a piano comes lumbering up on tank-like treads into the building. It appears to be Elvin John, the famous bard riding his famous piano. I'm assuming that you have some really cool sunglasses to go with that as well. Big Infinity, you have seen two of your companions be sucked underneath the cabinet by yarn. Grandma nodding, falls back and sits on her bed, head in her hands. What's going on? How could this happen? She seems distraught. What would you like to do? Elvin John, Big Infinity, still up here. Elvin John, would you like to make a performance check to try to charm the yarn like a snake charmer? Excellent. Big Infinity, you try to grab onto something in the room. Looking around, your choices are the table, the wall itself, or the bed. Seem to be the best things to hold onto in this situation. Would you like to roll yourself, Elvin John, or would you like me to roll a dice for you? Excellent. Holding onto the bed to protect yourself and to protect Granny nodding. You watch as Elvin John moves up and starts playing Cotton Eye Joe. As you play, roll a performance check, Elvin John. Also, can I please get Big Infinity to roll a strength check? On the train, I can roll for you. That is a 10. Excellent. Your performance check. As you play, the strands of yarn move up. They begin to dance around. As you look, Elvin John, they wrap around Big Infinity. And although they try to hold on, they are sucked under the bed and disappear from sight. You are unsure what's going on. You and Granny nodding lock eyes for a second, and then you feel like you're moving. And suddenly, like a wave, all of the charmed strands of yarn fall over the top of you, covering you, and as they fall, you disappear beneath them. Everything goes dark. It feels fluffy and warm. And suddenly, suddenly you find yourselves standing on what seems to be a soft, plush floor. All around you, towering mountains of yarn, knitting needles, scarves, crochet. It seems too crazy to believe. Running towards you is a figure. Smurf recognizes them straight away as Dark Shadow the Rogue. It appears that they too have been lost in this world. Dark Shadow, as you approached the building, a strand of yarn grabbed you around the ankle and pulled you under the house. Meanwhile, as you look around, the Malkin is just rubbing themselves on the all the fluffy things. They seem to be, as a small cat, very, very happy with their situation. Surveying your surroundings, team. You all roll perception, trying to see what you can see nearby. I shall roll for Elvin John. Excellent. Rolling an 11. What are your rolls, team? This is a D20. And add your perception. Big Infinity 14. Scuffy 18. I feel like I should make you roll with disadvantage, Scuffy, since you're rubbing up against the fabric, but I won't. Scuffy can look and scratch at the same time. 14 for yourself. Smurf, what about yourself? Smurf is strangely quiet in this new world. It has taken them completely by surprise. They quickly look up, noticing the rest of the party is looking around. And also roll an 18. Up ahead of you, you can see a large, open, flat area that looks like it's rippling like water. Beyond that is a narrow, dark canyon of wool and yarn. But up ahead of it, past the flat area and past the canyon, you do see a glowing red light. As you stand, you notice a cloud floating in from nearby. And as it moves, wet string-like rain falls around it. You're immediately going to try to jump on that fluffy cloud. Roll acrobatics or athletics. Oh, it's kind of cute, says Smurf. As you watch, though, this cloud, you see that the cloud itself and the string seem to be rubbing together, causing static electricity. Begins to spark between. 26. Scuffy leaps forward and jumps up, landing on the cloud with their monk jumping abilities. Scuffy, please make a dexterity saving throw as charged lightning erupts from the cloud and the string that it's dropping. The string continues to rain around. $16. Unfortunately, Scuffy, you are zapped by a bolt of lightning, dealing 10 damage as it rips through your fur. Every piece of fur on your body stands up on end. Extremely puffy now. Just to be clear, D20 plus whatever points you have on your character sheet. That is correct, Valdoran. Most things on your character sheet are D20. Unless it specifically says something different. So, team, roll initiative for me. Elvin John, do you remember what your initiative is? Because I've rolled a 12. At least you didn't fall flat on your face this time, says Scuffy. 10, excellent. So, Elvin John, reacting fast. Smurf, taking a few tentative steps back, seems to be afraid of this fluffy cloud. The rogue Valdoran, also known as Dark Shadow, something like that, moves forward, ready to attack. Scuffy, feeling a little bit frazzled, again is kind of stunned. And Big Infinity, it is 11. So, Valdoran goes second. So, it will be, in initiative order, we have Elvin John, then Dark Shadow, Big Infinity, and then Smurf, and then Scuffy. Elvin John. That is fine. Elvin John plays an interesting tune on their piano as they drive it home from the market, aka driving it around the battlefield, playing an inspiring tune. Of course, Valdoran needing no inspiration, what would you like to do? The cloud is floating only about 15 feet above you. The string, you notice, is string, but it does feel wet to the touch. What would you like to do, Val? Scuffy, the cat monk, has leapt on top of the cloud. You jump onto the cloud too. Seeing Scuffy get electrocuted, the rogue thinks, why can't I do that? Please make an acrobatics or athletics check. Acrobatics 13. You try to leap towards the cloud, but do not make it. Please roll a dexterity saving throw, Val, as static electricity from the wet string arcs towards you. The cloud continues to move forward, raining more rain all through the canyon. 18, excellent. You do manage to dodge the worst of it, taking only 3 damage from the static electricity. You have not landed on the cloud, but you can still attack it from here. The lowest parts of it hanging down, low enough for you to swing a sword at. Nice dodge, yells Smurf from somewhere at the back. Feeling inspired, Val. Big Infinity the Centaur, seeing all this happen, thinks and prepares for their action. Smurf at the back, deciding what they will do with their arrows. Meanwhile, Valdoran throws a poison dagger directly at the cloud. Make your attack, Val. The stringy rain keeps falling. The cloud is now directly on top of Valdoran. Big Infinity the Centaur, what would you like to do? As Val throws a poison dagger, it whizzes, but just misses the cloud, as the slippery, wet, rainy string manages to make your hands slippery from the water. Excellent. From the back of the party, just out of reach of the rain so far, Big Infinity the Centaur, moving their hands, channels magic through the wand that they hold, which I imagine is like a really big, like, cool centaur wand, almost like a staff for normal people. And magic missiles fly from the end towards the cloud, pummeling into it. Yeah, it's like a staff for normal people, but centaurs use it as a wand, 100%. Deal your damage with your magic missiles. $12 total. Excellent. 12 damage is dealt as magic missiles pop, pop, pop into the cloud. Thanks, Schmexy Babe. I opened the stream excited that I was going to do some crocheting, thinking the pen was a crochet hook. Unfortunately not. We are playing Chat Plays D&D, and they are stuck in a world of yarn. Speak up if you want to join in. All I need from you is a race of creature and a class you would like to play, Schmexy Babe. As Big Infinity the Centaur's missiles pop onto the cloud, Gas is going to be sad he missed this while at work. That is fine. I'll probably do another Chat Plays D&D tomorrow night because there's a few people that are at work today. I am extremely time poor, so I thought I've got an afternoon off. I'll play some D&D. Excellent. Smurf. Oh, Scuffy, sorry. Scuffy, it is your turn now. Big Infinity the Centaur has cast his magic missiles. Scuffy shakes himself free from the stunning electricity. That is fine, Smurf. It is not mandatory. Not mandatory to play. Scuffy, what would you like to do? Shaking yourself free from the stunning electricity while standing on the fluffy cloud. Now is your time to shine. Meanwhile, Smurf. You're going to fall asleep on the fluffiness? Hydrate. I will. Thank you. That's why I got juice. See, I told you I needed juice. You were going to fall asleep on the fluffiness. You're a little annoyed at getting zapped. You're going to dig your claws into it, make your attacks. Meanwhile, Smurf, what would you like to do down on the ground? Scuffy, the monk, digs their claws into the soft, fluffy cloud. Meanwhile, Smurf on the ground. Does a 15 hit? A 15 will hit. This is a big cloud, and you are sitting on top of it. Smurf, would you like to make your attack also? Meanwhile, down here, Smurf shoots an arrow straight at the cloud. 14 damage on the first hit. You begin to rip into the soft, fluffy cloud. Stuffing and strands of thread fly everywhere. The cloud sparks with static electricity. It seems to be angry at this. $10 for the second hit. More stuffing and fluff fly off. Smurf, do you want to make your attack with your arrow? $19. As Scuffy is ripping in, 13 will not hit Scuffy. Scuffy is ripping into the top of the cloud, making their flurry of blows as a monk. As you are doing this, an arrow flies from Smurf towards the cloud and pierces through. Deal your damage, Smurf. Damn. 13 damage is dealt. Excellent. The cloud is falling apart. More rain falls everywhere as it moves forward, straight over the top of Valdoran. Scuffy is still riding on top. The rain has now encompassed Smurf and... Nice. It has now encompassed Big Infinity and Smurf in its reign. Valdoran would like to jump upwards through the cloud, using Lux and Lox as longswords. Elvin John, still playing their piano in the back, keeping the party inspired to do good work. Can you all please make a dexterity saving throw as lightning ripples through the rain cloud and the rain on the ground? $20. You're also a rogue, so I believe that you you get like a quarter damage if you pass. Excellent. Wow. Okay, sure. So everyone takes 1 damage, except for Smurf, who takes 3. Congratulations, Smurf. The cloud being torn apart seems to have dissolved some of its magical ability. Elvin John running around, playing their music still, inspires Dark Shadow to make their attack with their twin longswords, Lux and Lox. Make your attack, Val. Strike with your swords as the cloud descends upon the party. $21 for locks. Excellent. Like some sort of dark spear, Val leaps up and through the cloud with Lux and Locks, both hitting. Deal your damage from your devastating blow.
Follows first place. Second place, it follows the second place person.
That, I believe, is only if an ally is attacked. I'll have to go back and have a look at the stats on that. I can't remember the item that I gave you. Let's figure that out. Is it this one? Not that one. Is it this one? Yeah, here we go. Where's Lux and Locks? Nope, Lux and Locks is not on that one. Did I send you a picture of that, Val? Everything is too cute, you don't know what to attack stuff? Yeah, that'll happen. D&D chat on Discord. Okay. In the D&D chat on Discord. What what precisely? What was the power of that? Here they are. Ah, yeah, of course. Perfect. Indeed. So, make your additional attack, please, Val. So, as Val pierces through the creature, he disappears into a puff of smoke and reappears right next to the cloud, slashing at it another time. You just roll a d20 first. It is an additional hit. We need to see if the attack... We need to see if the attack is actually successful. $17 will hit. So now you roll 3 sets of damage. And you basically just add 2d6 to the final one. So you roll 1d6, add 2, 1d6, add 2, and then 3d6, add 2. I can do it, so confusing. Okay. Your first attack, Val, is 4 plus 2, that'll be 6 from Locks. The second is a 6 plus 2 is 8, from Lux, and then when you disappear into your shadow attack, it is 1, 2, 7, 9. Perfect. Val, you pierce the cloud, and it disappears, sending you and Scuffy to the ground. From inside the cloud falls a paladin. It is Lukey. Apparently they have been drawn into this strange world of yarn as well. It's just like a paladin to go and it's just like a paladin to go and try to help an old lady with her yarn. As you watch, the wet yarn soaks into the fabric underneath, and you are left quiet in a quiet area. Now slightly wet, slightly electrocuted, but you have defeated the electric cloud. Again, up ahead of you, you can see a flat, rippling area like a fabric lake. Beyond that, you see a dark, dark canyon. And beyond that, something glowing red. Scuffy the Malkin shakes himself off. The party gathers himself together. Elvin John playing their piano. Scuffy complaining how super fluffy they are now. Lukey, the paladin, handing out flyers to everyone, getting them to join a union. Val, the dark shadow rogue, secretly throwing the union pamphlet away. And of course, we have Big Infinity, the centaur sorcerer, at the back, using their huge wand. That sounded sus. Using their huge wand to cast many spells. Excuse me. Party, you have defeated the cloud. What would you like to do? Would you like to look around in this area, or would you like to move forward? The party groups together to decide. What would you like to do in this situation? Might they be dragged along as everything's so distracting? Steal some yarn to take home. Excellent. So, Scuffy again is trying to stop themselves from being distracted. Val, the Dark Shadow, uses their little shadow clone to search around. Smurf, please roll a perception check to see if you can find some yarn that you can take home. Meanwhile, at the front of the party, Lukey the Paladin calls, "Onward! I have no idea where we're going, but it's probably smart to keep moving." And begins moving forward. Meanwhile, Elvin John starts to play, "I can see clearly now, the rain is gone," while looking around. I suppose I better roll for you, Elvin John. Do you remember what your do you remember what your perception check was? I can just add stuff on. We can just pretend. Lukey, not only is this... No, you got 14? Oh, nice. 14. Excellent. Not only, Lukey, this isn't just a bard. This is Elven John, the bard, who rides basically a tank as a piano and plays as the piano moves around on tank treads. Absolute classic character, this one. At least you don't have to push the piano. Yeah. No jazz, says Lukey the Paladin. Perfect. Elven John. As you look around, you find a spool of solid gold yarn. There is approximately 350 gold pieces worth. Apart from that, which I'm assuming you put up into your piano for safekeeping, there doesn't appear to be anything else of value. Smurf, looking with a 24, mustn't be hard to find with it being everywhere. You also find... Squidge can hold that. Let me just get Squidge. Hold on. Where's Squidge? I forgot Squidge still lives in your piano. There's Squidge. Squidge lives in Elven John's piano. Holds on to things for him. Smurf, you also find around 300 gold worth of golden yarn, and you also find a spool of magical yarn. Now, it's not quite clear what type of magic is in it, but it is obviously magical and glowing. Oh, nice, says Smurf as they walk back to join the party. Excellent. Looking at the area, everyone seems to have looked around as much as they would like and begins to move forward towards the large, flat ocean. Or lake. It is unclear. I'm listening, but I'm leaving. Solve this mystery in my stead, says Big Infinity. I'm just going to assume that Big Infinity ends up in Elven John's piano somehow. And the centaur falling under some kind of enchanted sleep. Bye-bye, horsey. Big Infinity the centaur falling in some kind of enchanted sleep. Hops into Elven John's piano. While you move forward to the ocean, you admire your two long swords, as that was the first time you'd used them. Excellent. You don't even realize it, but you end up standing right on top of a strangely rippling fabric. It definitely moves like water, but it is solid to stand on. It is quite unusual. What would you like to do, party? What would you like to do? Scuffy warns, do not poke your head in the water. You've had some sort of vision, Scuffy. What would you like to do, party? It is not too wide. You're fairly sure you can walk to the other side quite easily. However, it is unclear what sort of dangers might lay ahead of you. The party surveys the area Elvin John's piano moving up and down. Excellent. Scuffy the Malkin begins to move forward. As you poke your stick at the butt of your spear into the ground, Lukey, it falls between the yarn and comes back out wet. This appears to be water, but also not water. It is quite unusual. Your piano feels a bit faster now, like it has more horsepower, says Elvin John, giving everyone a smile. Very strange. Excellent. As you look around, roll your perception checks. You are definitely on alert as you move forward into this strange, watery place. $11 for Lukey. Lukey, you begin to move forward, unafraid. Getting to the other side of this strange lake is all you think will end your turmoil. Smurf, following the paladin's lead, you begin to move forward. Nice. Nice. Val, what about yourself? You're wearing plate as well. You don't like water. Excellent. So Val and Scuffy over here. And Elvin John, do you have a perception roll for me? I'm going to assume Elvin John is too busy with their piano doing donuts and is not the first to see either Lukey and Smurf heading forwards. Oh, excellent. That's fine. Elvin John, Lukey, and Smurf begin to head forwards. However, Val and Scuffy, you notice 3 sets of eyes in the water. Googly black eyes just popping up out of the water's surface. What would you like to do about this information? The rest of your party is moving slowly closer to the eyes. Elvin John, Lukey, and Smurf have not noticed. Are they walking into a trap? Watch out! Eyes on you! Yells Scuffy. Suddenly everyone is aware, and where the eyes were, burst horrific sea creatures. A huge fish, a giant crab, and a dangerous looking manta ray lunge towards the party. However, you are all prepared. The fish is mine, yells Scuffy, but Elvin John is the first to react, being closest to the crab. What would you like to do, Elvin John? Suddenly out of the water, splashing water everywhere. Hideously cute sea creatures have attacked. As Elven John prepares, Dark Shadow Valdoran. Valdoran's mouth starts watering, seeing the crab of hunger. Lukey, the paladin's eyes narrow. For Steve Irwin, the archdruid, the ray shall feel my wrath. What would you like to do, Val? Elven John and Valdoran, you may take your actions. You are the first in initiative order. Val immediately leaps onto the crab's back. Make make an acrobatics or athletics check, please, Val. Smurf, their dry wit showing. Shall we get a fire started? Dinner looks good tonight. $16 will not. Oh, sorry. This is a. Excellent. 16 is enough to make for an acrobatics or athletics check. Definitely. You leap onto the back of the creature. Elven John playing at their piano. What shall be their action? Meanwhile, Valdoran, the Dark Shadow Rogue, you may attack. For reference, Val, the only one within 5 feet of an ally currently is the Ray, which is next to Lukey. If you would like to make that additional attack. Excellent. The dual blades of Lux and Locks. Make your attacks, Val. Val stabs with Lux and Locks into the crab. Will the swords penetrate the hard, soft shell? $25 and $15. The 25 will hit. Lux penetrating. Excellent. Lukey the Paladin yells, "Out of game. My aura grants +5 to all saving throws of allies within 10 feet of me. Might be relevant." Welcome in, Chewing Gum. Thanks for the cheer, Smurf.
Smurf 2319 just cheered 1 bit.
Appreciate it. You just want to see me blush, don't you, Smurf? Excellent. Val, one of your swords is hit. Would you like me to roll your damage again, or you just roll a 1d6, which is like a normal dice? One of those. And add +2 to it. Meanwhile, Scuffy and Smurf. It is almost your time, Scuffy and Smurf. What would you like to do? Val is rolling for damage. 5 + 2, because it gains +2 your weapon. So it'll be 7 in total. Excellent. One of your swords deals 7 damage. The other one fails to penetrate the plush shell of the crab. Now, would you like to make the additional psychic attack? You have one creature within 5 foot of an ally. Does an 18 hit? It does. What creature would you like to attack, Scuffy? Smurf, what would you like to do in this situation? You've suddenly seen these ghastly sea creatures of epic cuteness erupt out. So you need to make an attack, Val. Scuffy, you leap over the party towards the fish. Make an acrobatics check, please, Scuffy. Yeah, just the first one, just Lux for the 5 feet. 22, your acrobatics or athletics check passes, and you leap onto the back of the fish, Scuffy. Make your attacks. "20 will hit, Val." A dark shadow form of Val, the shadow rogue, appears and slashes directly through. So instead of rolling one of these, I want you to roll 3, Val, for that special attack. So roll 3 of those, add them together. Smurf uses their torch to set fire to an arrow to shoot at the crab. Maybe the smell of crab cooking will motivate Val some more. Nice. 11, plus the 2 as well. Perfect. So 13 damage to the crab, Val. Lukey the Paladin looks around. Having a look, they see that there is currently a Paladin, currently a Ranger, currently a Monk, currently a Rogue, and also a Bard. We have Big Infinity sleeping inside the... Big Infinity is sleeping inside the piano currently. The Centaur Sorcerer that we had. So you have a Scuffy the Malkin Monk, Smurf the Elf Ranger, Elvin John the Elf Bard, Dark Shadow the Human Rogue, and Lukey the Human Paladin. A hand flies up in the air. "Don't forget me," says Garut the Tiefling Paladin, climbing out of Elvin John's piano. Hello, Azzy Haven. How are you going? Welcome, welcome. If you'd like to play, I just need to know what race of creature and class you are playing. Oh, Tiefling. I apologize. Tieflings look so much like humans. Suddenly, there is another paladin. It's rather spacious in here. In there, they say. As they step out of Elvin John's piano. "13 damage to the ray," that is true. 13 damage to the ray. You hoist your shield bearing your holy symbol in recognition to the paladin. It's the holy symbol, I'm assuming, just looks like a union. Just made a character, actually. We wanted to make a character that was a combat medic, but like an actual ex-soldier combat medic, not necessarily someone that just has healing magic. That's awesome. That is super awesome. So we have Azzy. What type of creature? It's a sickle and hammer, actually. Yeah. What type of creature are you, Azzy? So, Val, Scuffy have taken their attacks. I need to jump back up here. Scuffy, what? Where did we go? 12, 13, 8 damage. You crit failed the final claw. Brutal. Variant human with a healer feat. Thief rogue for fast hands. Love it. Let's give you a... interesting. Let's give you a fast hand as your token, Azzy. And for our second paladin, let's give you a hammer. You are just in, Azzy. You are just in. Valdoran said to myself, why does this Elven John keep popping people out of his instrument? That is a legitimate question. Scuffy says to Azzy, can you heal burnt fur? Scuffy is a Malkin, a small cat person. So, Smurf, it is your turn. You have lit an arrow on fire and are firing it at the fish. It is bigger on the inside. Soldiers often fall on hard times after service. I have some pamphlets you need to read. I'm sure we can find some support services for veterans out there somewhere. I love how your paladin is just like power to the workers. Got into the piano through booking.com. Love it. Smurf, you hit with a 23. Firing an arrow at that crab, the flaming arrow pierces into its plush shell. Smurf will have a second attack, that is true. You can make a second attack, Smurf. Your arrow fires. I'm just gonna move the miniature for Squidge, because Elven John, we know that Squidge exists and lives in your piano also. Would you like to make your second attack, Smurf? Meanwhile, Lukey and Gerut and Azzy, what would you like to do? We have Lukey here in front of the manta. Gerut has just climbed out of the piano, as has Azzy. The masses are so often ignored by the aristocrats. You didn't choose to be born in a great house, but you can choose how to live. Love it. Check if anyone's currently bleeding, see if they need to make a makeshift tourniquet. Several of the party, including Valdoran and Scuffy and Smurf, appear to be slightly singed. Gerut, the Tiefling Paladin, throws their lightning javelin towards the ray. Lukey plants their tower shield. Ready your new long spear. You have sentinel feet now, he announces to the party. And holds their action. Gerut, please make your attack. Azzy, you can try to heal people, but they appear more singed than bleeding. Perhaps a burn kit will help. Smurf, make your attack. Excellent. 24 will definitely hit. Your lightning javelin flies towards the ray. Make your damage count. Your second attack will miss, Smurf. Please roll damage for your first attack. The first flaming arrow hits the crab, but the second one flies over the top. How much does a healer's kit heal again with the healer's feature? Very good question. This is why I love Google. Okay, so healer's feat, rules and game mechanics. Okay. As an action, you can spend one use of a healer's kit to tend a creature and restore 1d6 plus 4 hit points, plus an additional hit point equal to the creature's maximum hit dice. And you can only use that once each short rest per creature. Does that make sense? 7 piercing and 11 lightning to the ray. You absolutely shred the ray. The lightning and the piercing just shred through it after the psychic damage it took from Valdoran. Smurf, your arrow pierces into the crab, setting it partially on fire, dealing a lot of damage, but not quite finishing it off. Scuffy says, I'm assuming these are immune to bludgeoning, right? Punching into one of them and having no effect. As he looks around, which ones are damaged again? Who looks most likely to be hit again? Looking currently, you do have Scuffy on top of a fish, you do have Valdoran on top of a crab, and you do have yourself here, right in front of the crab's giant claws. Now, Scuffy and Valdoran and Smurf, all looking slightly singed. Thank you, Lukey. Smurf, she is the closest. You rolled a 6, so that's 10 plus their hit dice. Excellent. Smurf, you heal 10 plus your level. You want to know what secrets the crab has? It does look like it's keeping some secrets. It looks like it's a very cheeky crab. Excellent. Only 5-foot range. Perfect. Perfect. So, as he has healed, we have a giant spear flowing through. Lukey is holding in a defensive position. Thanks for the heal, says Smurf. The crab, seeing that it has a Valdoran on top and an Azzy in front, is going to try to swipe at each of you with a claw. Swiping at Valdoran, that is going to miss. I'm assuming that you have more than a 9 armor class. No problem, says Azzy, patting Smurf. And a nat 1. And a nat 1 to try to attack Azzy. Azzy, the crab has just tried to snip you with its snippers. Fortunately, it appears it is not used to snipping non-fabric things, and it leaves itself wide open for an attack of opportunity. Would you like to take one, Azzy? Would you like to use your reaction? You've definitely dodged it. Meanwhile, the fish is going to try to eat Scuffy whole. Not even turning away from wrapping up your teammate, you just stick your rapier and its claw. Perfect. Roll your attack, Azzy. Scuffy, what is your armor class? The fish is trying to eat you. $19. The fish has hit you. 18 plus 3. That is against the crab. So 21. Perfect. Scuffy. You take 6 damage as the creature's sharp, knitting needle-like teeth pierce into you. You may roll a strength, acrobatics, or athletics check to try to escape its mouth. It is trying to eat you whole, Scuffy. What will you do? What will you do, Scuffy? You rolled a 2. Scuffy is inside the fish. Scuffy, inside you take an additional 4 damage as the strings inside the fish's stomach try to cut into you to dissolve you down and eat you. Elvin John. Feeling deja vu, says Scuffy as they disappear inside the fish's mouth. Elvin John, seeing all this happen, the paladins throwing lightning javelins and protecting the rest of the party with their shields and their spears. The rogue leaping up on top of the crab and stabbing into it. The Malkin being immediately eaten by the giant fish that they were standing on top of. Flaming arrows and all coming from the ranger behind you. What would you like to do, Elvin John? Also, Valdoran, you have found yourself ready to attack again. You would like to play Crab Brave, but that might hype the crab up instead of us. Can you object interaction yoink your rapier out of the crab and use your bow to launch it at the fish's eye? You launch your rapier at the fish's eye? Or launch the crab at the fish's eye? Excellent. Pulling out their longsword, Elvin John's piano's wheels begin to spin, and they charge forward. Precisely which creature are you charging forward to, Elvin John? Valdoran, what would you like to do? Your turn is next. You find yourself ready to strike again. If you can yeet the crab, but yeah, you mean the rapier? Sure. You cannot yeet the crab. Unfortunately, even though it is made of fabric, it is several times larger than any of you. Excellent. As Elvin John's piano charges forward, straight past the paladin, Garut, who looks at Elvin John. How thick is the fabric? I mean, to scale, it's probably 6 foot thick. Imagine a creature this size. Oh no. As the piano charges towards the giant crab, Valdoran also throws poison daggers into the crab's eyes. The tiefling Garut notices that Elvin John's piano plays an off-key every 5th note in a tasteful jazz sort of way. Lukey the paladin yells, "Fish, no, people are friends, not food," shakes his head. Excellent. Using their reaction, nothing has happened. Leave behind the shield planted and has gone two-handed spear. You are now standing right in front of the fish, Mr. Lukey. Now, Valdoran and Elvin John, make your attacks, please. Somewhere inside the fish you hear the muffled, "Try not to hit it when you hit it. Try not to hit me when you hit it." Coming from Scuffy. Yes, portable cover. I do like tower shields. Valdoran hits with a 16. The poison dagger pierces into the fish's eye. Deal your damage, Val. Oh, not the fish, the crab, sorry. Let's put a portable cover tower shield right here. Smurf can stand behind it. Excellent. Yes. 1d6, please. Each dagger will do different damage. Steve Owen impression. She's not going to like that, mate. Winces. So, instead of a rapier arrow, you want to strike your rapier against your dagger to strike a spark. Azzy, you can try, although you do notice that the fabric you are standing on is very wet. It is undulating like an ocean or a lake. 5 damage is dealt to the crab. Deal your damage for your second dagger, Valdoran. The crab passed against your poison, unfortunately. And a 6. 6 is enough to bring the crab down. The crab also falls limp. Meanwhile, Lukey has charged forward, standing in front of the fish. Scuffy and Smurf, what would you like to do? Yum, yum, yum. I don't care if it's fabric, I'm still going to eat it. Going to try to eat your way out of the fish. Excellent. I don't even know what sort of roll you need to make for that. Let's say you make a unarmed attack. As a monk, totally fine. If you want to try to attack your way out, you do have small claws and teeth, so you can make your unarmed attacks against the inside of the fish. Oh, start of your turn though. You do take an additional 3 damage from the fish's stomach. Smurf, make your action. Scuffy, I need to know what you want to do. Scuffy trying to eat their way out of the fish. Flurry of blows, I'm assuming, inside the fish's stomach. Hey Chad, ever heard of pig on a spit? Lunging forward at full sprint and with precision thrust your spear down the fish's throat. Your last one critted. Nice. This is going to be good. Lukey. Make your attack, Lukey. Deal your damage, Scuffy. Smurf, you have an option. You are standing behind a tower shield. You may fire when ready. Or do whatever you like, Smurf. It's your game. Excellent. Azzy is going to pick up injured party members or someone with a bow and move them further away from the fish. Dragging Elvin John backwards behind the cover. Val, are you injured? Smurf leaps up onto the dead Ray.
Did you get those clothes? At
Oh
the
no.
toilet store?
I did. I got all my clothes at the toilet store. Hold on. I don't have any bow ties here. Oh no. Let's see what bow ties I've got in my weird cupboard here. Probably some. I'm assuming. No, I'll just go to the kitchen. That's where I keep all my bow ties. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that bow ties live in the kitchen. Okay. Let's get, I think, the wooden bow tie. Okay, I have several bow ties. I have several bow ties. Okay. Several bow ties, Val. Yes, I do. Thank you. That's upside down. You are injured, but not by these three creatures. That would be super excellent, Azzy. Are you on the Discord? I'd love you to share that with us on the Discord. Okay. Let's just go back up here. 17, 23, 33, 43 damage from inside the fish. Lukey also dealt 14 piercing and 20 run radiant damage from the smite. Excellent. I think I've just linked to the Discord. Please jump on there. There is a D&D channel. Would love to hear your character's backstory. We share a whole lot of ridiculous stuff on there. Between Lukey and Scuffy, you have absolutely exploded the fish. Monk might need to dodge. How would you describe picking up a willing creature? Would it still be considered grappling, only an automatic success, just your action and movement? Or just like an object interaction? If they are willing, I would actually say it would be... Thank you, Smurf. You're embarrassing me again. You just want to see me blush, don't you? Or is it because I'm wearing a bow tie now? If I'm wearing the bow tie, you can't see my cute little fish pin. I got a little... Oh, let me show you. I got a little... I have a little magical fish pin. Look how magical it is. It's my favorite. Let's just leave magical fish pin right here, so everyone can see it. Saving up for dancing Nietzsche, thank you. That's it's very embarrassing for me. Love the Helldivers lore. Collaborating with some DMs to beat Helldivers homebrew. That would be very cool. All the creatures destroyed. The party, of course, can search around. Or you can move forward to the dark canyon and the strange red light from within. What would you like to do, party? Lukey collects his tower shield. You have Elvin John driving around on their piano. We have, of course, Azzy, the soldier, tending to everyone's wounds, whether they like it or not. Valdoran begins to look around. Roll your investigate, please. Meanwhile, Scuffy walks up to the newfound healer. I would really appreciate a heal, as so much acid damage to my fur. They say holding up their arm, showing how much acid damage has been done to them. Valdoran is investigating around. 20. Did you just roll a nat 20? Don't know anything about Helldiver's lore? Nice. Sprinting across a raging battlefield with a wounded soldier on your back, having to snap the blade in half to rip your sleeves off to make a tourniquet. That does sound pretty epic, I'm just going to say. Okay, so Valdoran's just rolled a nat 20 for an investigation of the area. Sling your spear onto the back, loop your tower shield back on your back as well. Standing in the middle of the party here. Okay, who needs some healing? Did you know that the top 1% of people get 90% of the heals, Lukey? Did you know that? It's time to share the heals around, okay? It's my poorest Bernie Sanders impression I've ever said. Okay. I need to pull up a... Perfect. Valdoran. You pull out of a pile of strange fabrics a weird hat. Which I can possibly show you on the screen right now. So let me move chat out of the way. Let us add. Gotta love the gotta love the nat 20s, of course. Lukey, 22 HP for the monk. Lay on hands pull. Rubs herself up against the paladin happily. Grabs duct tape. We've got healing at home. Would you rather be bald or dead? Says Azzy. I'm loving Azzy as a character. This is so good. Oh, I love it. Okay, hold on. I need to go back over here. What am I doing? I'm getting distracted. Now I'm upset that I don't have my stream deck plugged in properly because I needed to do that to get two cameras working because they keep hating me forever. Let's get... I just need to add like a little bit of an image here. Yes, I would. And then let's upload the image of Val's new hat that they have discovered. Val, you've discovered a strange hat. Why is everything made of fabric? Because everyone went to help a grandma called Grandma Nodding in her cabin, and she lost a spool of yarn under her cabinet, and could not find the end of it. So eventually the party came to investigate and all got dragged underneath. Tough feat. Nice. Val, I will share this. Can't really read it. I will just send it through Discord. Do not worry. I'm going to pop that onto the Discord, Dungeons & Dragons Discord. There you go. It is up there too. It is called Fothitu. The internal gaze. It is a pointed mage's hat, gives you +1 AC, allows you to channel a concentrated spell through it, which means you can concentrate on 2 spells at the same time. One is allocated to the hat, one is allocated to you. Extremely useful as a magic user, which you are not, Val. But it is still a really excellent really excellent hat, and I'm sure there will be plenty of mages around that will love to trade you for that. You do have 2 spells, that is true. That is very true. Excellent. So, party. Would anyone else like to have a look around before you leave the area? Excellent. That would be Garut. Garut, please roll an investigation or a perception. Perceive or investigate. Where did the newcomers come from? You came from Elvin John's piano. So Elvin John, this character back here who is driving currently and unable to type quite a lot, they have a magical piano that they ride around on. It has tank wheels, it has hydraulics, it has springs, it is basically a bag of holding. That is exactly where Garut came from, and it seems that Garut dragged you up at about the same time. So, one sec. Hello, I'm back. You have been pre-birthed. You've been birthed pre-backstory. That is true. The piano is a permanent Lehman's tiny hut. This piano is getting out of control, Elvin John. It really, really is. It really, oh man, I've got some fun sunglasses. Why am I not wearing, with Elvin John here? Why am I not wearing like my star-shaped sunglasses? I should be wearing those. Should I not? Like star-shaped glasses for Elvin John. You can't really see them, I suppose. I could wear my other silly ones. Whereas I've got these are ridiculous. Should I just wear these the whole time, chat? I actually can't see anything with those on. Slaps the piano. This bad boy can fit so many things in it. Squidgy slaps his chest and says the same thing. It's a bag of holding inside a bag of holding. Dark Shadow teleports away to investigate. Disappearing. Excellent. Now, Scuffy saw absolutely nothing as they looked through. However, the Paladin Garut does find a spool of magical yarn. You also find a small spool of golden thread, which you estimate is probably worth about 200 gold pieces. Love the glasses. That's definitely what Elvin John's wearing. These ones? The star-shaped ones, or the meme glasses? You can't really see these ones on camera. It's a bit frustrating. We'll just put these ones on. Now it'll look really cool. Woo! Excellent. The party, having finished searching around, moves into the dark canyon ahead. The meme ones? Yeah, definitely. There's this really awesome like home. It's like a little sort of indoor market that I got these from. Very cool. Which way? Yeah, that's the way it needs to be. So you can see as the party moves forward, chat. You arrive in what seems to be a large, strange, dark canyon. Hello, Azzy. How you going? Did I miss something in chat? That does sound like me. How would I rule the carrying thing? The carrying thing I would rule as essentially if someone is voluntarily being carried, then you would roll with advantage because they are helping you carry them. If they're unconscious, then that would be a normal object. And if they are resisting, then obviously they're resisting. So that would be, you know, an opposed check. But yeah, if they're trying to be carried, they're trying to be carried. I might actually turn this around sideways because of reasons. Excellent. Lukey, now this is really difficult with the with the glasses on. Lukey, the paladin, has gone and sits in prayer. Half movement. It will depend on your strength score whether you are encumbered or not. Azzy, I would imagine. Are you strong enough to lift that creature? Then, you know, if that's the case, you may be able to move it full movement. Classic 10-minute prayer session. You're a paladin, you can relate, says Gurut. As you enter, you see a giant red heart at the center of the dark canyon. It appears to be beating slowly. It is unclear why. What would you like to do, party? As you move forward, you do have Gurut the Tiefling. You have Scuffy the Monk. You have you have Azzy, the Healing Soldier. You have Elvin John playing a tune on their piano. And you have Smurf, the Archer. Guess 180 pounds? Nice. As long as they're under 180 pounds then, Azzy, you can move normally. Fascinated by the beating heart-shaped ball of yarn. Did the old lady mention anything about this? Says Gurut to the rest of the party who was there in the cabin earlier. The old lady did not. The old lady simply lost some of her yarn underneath. What about proficiency or expertise in athletics? Yes, that would definitely help as well. If you've done some training, Azzy, you've done some training. As the party stares at the heart, you notice that there is a single strand of red string. Leading off into the distance from the heart. It appears to be moving. Gurut moves forward to try to follow the strand. As you do, suddenly a huge dragon attached to the string lumbers into frame. Maybe. Hold on. Excellent. Lumbers into frame. That dragon, though. Would that be the string you were pulling at the house? Possibly. All you know is it has a large dragon attached. Excellent. The dragon stands ready. It looks angry. It is all tangled up in the string. It roars with a squeaker somewhere inside its chest. What would you like to do, party? What would you like to do? This thing is huge. Too good. Should you try to free it? Says Gurut. From the string? The rest of the party looks. Agreed, says Smurf. And you move cautiously closer to the creature. It thrashes around. Excellent. Who would like to move close to the creature then. We have Garut and Smurf, both close by now, both moving forward to try to help the creature. How would you like to help it? The rest of the party so far is standing back. Scuffy is just sitting there in awe. Excellent. So, Garut reasons it's only connected by one strand to the main heart. I'm going to cut the connection. And you move forward to cut the connection. Scuffy leaps forward to try to untangle it. Maybe. That works. And Smurf is going to try to cut the string as well. Make your attacks. And so Garut and Smurf make attacks against the string. Scuffy, you make an investigation check to try to untangle it, unless you have something else that you think will work better. Each race in the DM's guide has its own specific weight. There's not something that's like medium creatures weigh X. No, that is true. And in fact, if you want to get really deep into it, Azzy, each individual character of a specific race should have slightly different weights. Garut's like, I have nothing sharp, and starts soaring away with the pointy bit of their javelin. Roll an attack with it. Smurf, roll your attack. Scuffy, 21 with investigate. You think that with a few deft cuts and pulling on the right strings, you can probably untangle it. You think you figured it out. You need to make 3 successful attacks, and you will succeed, Scuffy. Excellent. 18 will hit, 9 will not, Smurf. You slash with your short sword, but the string pulls tighter on the dragon, trying to resist. Garut, you roll an 18. Excellent. Make your damage against the strand. 17 will hit, Scuffy. 17 will hit. Do your damage. Use it as a dagger, I think. Excellent. Scuffy makes 3 successful attacks against the strand, wrapping around the dragon. Scuffy, deal your damage. 17, 18, 19. You should have just kept rolling. 20, 21. Roll your damage for your javelin's tip like you would a dagger. 1d4. Add your melee weapon. What would be strength based? 3 damage. Excellent. You do not manage to pierce through the string. An updated book said player characters, regardless of race, have a similar weight to real-life humans. Average human weight. Yeah, that's fine. Obviously, Goliaths weigh more. Dwarves weigh more. Elves weigh less. But you can average it out. Scuffy, make your attacks. Roll your damage. Your character could pick up a random Joe and sprint away just fine. 9, 7, and 11. Excellent. You cut the strings, freeing the dragon from the string itself. The red string coils like it is in pain, twitching darkly in the center. The dragon, now free, roars. Can someone calm it? Thank you for the follow, Azzy. That's a love heart for you, Azzy, there. Appreciate. Can someone calm the dragon? It is in pain. It has been injured by the string. Can you heal it? You cast Detect Evil or Good on the dragon. You detect neither. It has some, in fact, it has some good to it. It is definitely good. Before we freed it, I should have done this earlier, says Gurut. Before we freed it. You can. Smurf. Speak with animals. Roll a... I forget what it is in 5th edition. Not diplomacy. It is... gosh. Hey, 3 AM. You go, mate. Forcefully pinning them down if I have to. Nice, Azzy. Nice. Persuasion. That's what I'm looking for. Please roll a persuasion check, Smurf. $19. Nice. The dragon trusts you, Smurf. He's a very... Here, hold this. Hands the dude his own leg kind of person. Love it. So good. The dragon trusts you, Smurf. And as it grabs the entire party in its clutches, it flaps its fabricy wings and begins flying up into the sky. Seconds later, you feel yourselves erupting out from under a small cabinet. You are back in Grandma Nodding's cottage. And as you watch, the small dragon-like creature hops over to Grandma Nodding, leaping up and hugging her. It appears that this is Grandma Nodding's long-lost familiar, a small knitted golem that she made many, many years ago. And you have successfully rescued it from the clutches of the dark yarn. He's also very derpy, as you can probably tell. Just grateful no one attacked it. That's true. That is true. You can attack it if you want. Oh, that was very fun, chat. That was very fun. Where am I? That was very excellent. Thanks for hanging out. It was very good. I probably need to go cook dinner now. It's getting late. As you can see outside. Outside, here it is. It's getting dark. Yeah, it's all good. Let's find someone to raid, I think. Hey, not a problem. I will do them more often. I've been very busy recently. But I think what we do, we'll find someone cool and we'll go and check them out. And then I'm going to cook dinner.
Hydrate.
I will hydrate, thank you. This cute dragon. Love's come home and seen the cute dragon. Immediately pointed at the cute dragon. This is from Kmart, actually. Yeah, I got it from Kmart. From Kmart. If anyone wants to get their own crazy little dragon, that's where you do it. Okay, wait, hold on. Where are we going? Let's have a look. Who's doing stuff? Who's doing stuff on the Twitch? There's a few people doing D&D stuff. Let's I reckon this one looks cool. Phantasmal Madness seems very excellent. I think we go raid them, see what they're all about. Or maybe... Someone's playing Curse of Strahd. No, let's go see what this one's about. What have I done? I've clicked somewhere wrong. Can't even do stuff anymore. Oh, maybe they've stopped playing. Okay, that's fine. Let's see this one here. Okay, we're gonna go raid. Thanks so much for hanging around. This has been really, really awesome. I appreciate all of you. We will do chat plays D&D in the future. Please check out the Discord. Right now, I'm gonna go cook some dinner. And maybe tomorrow night we can do chat plays D&D again. But we'll have to see how I go with work. So, love you all. Thanks so much for hanging out. And congratulations on beating the Dark Yarn. Bye, team.